Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing great today. Now in today's lesson, we're going to look at global temporary tables. Now what are these type of tables? Let me start by giving you this illustration. You may have visited some very large e-commerce websites like Amazon, Jumia, Konga and the rest of them. And then you would have seen your shopping cart. You pick items from the list of items and then you add to your cart. You pick another item, you add to your cart. Sometimes you could have like 3, 4, 5 items in your cart. And then immediately you complete that transaction, maybe by making a purchase. You don't see those items again. So this is what a global temporary table looks like. This is exactly how it works. Now, for such an e-commerce site, you don't have to create a regular table, a normal table. You need a global temporary table. Okay, so let's quickly hit our screen and then let me show you a couple of queries on how to create this table and how to make use of them. Okay, so if you look at our screen, you see a couple of syntax, a couple of commands, a couple of select statements, if you will. I'll try to explain each of them before we execute. Now, this is how to create the global temporary table. It says create global temporary table, shopping cart. That's the name of the table, in this case. And then it has just 2 columns, item number, which has a number data type, and then the quantity, which has a number data type also. Then very, very important, there is a clause known as onCommit delete rows. So this is the clause that actually does the trick, that does the magic, that when you complete the transaction, you don't get to see anything again in the shopping cart. So this is actually the first method to create a global temporary table. Now I'm going to execute this statement. And then you can see global temporary table created. Now the next thing we want to do is to insert data into the table. Now inserting data into the table means we are actually shopping from the website, assuming, okay, and we want to insert this into our shopping cart. So we are inserting these values into the table. Okay, I'll execute this. 1 row inserted. I'll also execute this. 1 row inserted. Now let's select everything we have on our cart, more or less like we're going to check out. Okay, so I'll execute this, select all from shopping cart. You can see we have item number 1 and the quantity is 5. For item number 2, the quantity is 10. Okay, this is just a simple table. So if you want to make it elaborate, you could actually create another column known as item name, okay, to actually display the item. Okay, you can do that on your own. It's very simple. So from our select statement, we have actually 2 types of items in our shopping cart. So let me do this commit. This commit means that I'm trying to finish the transaction. Now it says commit complete. To prove to you that the items will no longer be in the table, the transaction has ended. So if I select everything again from the cart, you can see the cart is empty. Yes, that's how it works. The cart is empty because the transaction has ended. Now let's look at the second option on how to create a global temporary table. So again, we'll write the create table statement, create global temporary table, shopping cart 2. And then we'll have the same type of columns. Again, item number, which has a number data type, and then quantity, which also has a number data type. Now, the difference between this one and the first one is that we have onCommit preserve rows. The first one we created, we have onCommit delete rows. That's why we didn't have the item again at the end of the transaction. But in this case, we are having onCommit preserve rows. So what this will simply do is that even after you have completed your transaction, you will still see the items in the shopping cart. Okay, so let's go ahead and execute this statement and see how it goes. Global temporary table created. And then the next thing we want to do is to insert values into the table, like we're actually shopping and then adding items to our cart. I'll execute this. It shows one row inserted, one row inserted, one row inserted. So let's commit like we are concluding the transaction. Commit complete. Now, if I select everything from the shopping cart too, you will see that we still have the items in the shopping cart. Now, the final thing I want to say about the global temporary table is the fact that each session can see and modify only its data. Now, since millions of users get to visit this type of site every day, I can only see what is in my cart. I can't see what is in another customer's cart. I cannot modify what is in another person's cart. It's just the one in my cart that I can see. So it is actually session dependent. To prove this to you, I'm going to open another login. I'm going to open another session so that you see what I'm talking about. Okay, as you can see, I have another session opened, still as the HRL user. Okay, so let me go to the previous session and copy the same query. Okay. Select all from shopping cart. And then I go to this session and paste it. Now, if I execute this query, you see that I don't have the same details. You see, nothing. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is how the global temporary table works. I hope this lecture was interesting to you. If it was, kindly like it and share it widely. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out whenever I upload another valuable content. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.